After what can only be described as one of the most chaotic silly seasons in Formula One history, the focus is already shifting toward the biggest driver moves for the 2026 season. With the dawn of a new era in F1 regulations, every team is looking ahead to secure the best possible lineup. And despite 14 of the 22 available seats already being taken, the unpredictability of the driver market means that nothing is ever set in stone. The biggest question mark looming over the paddock? The future of three-time world champion Max Verstappen. One team that can be relatively comfortable heading into the 2026 season is McLaren. Their dynamic young pairing of Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri has already been locked in with contracts extending into the new regulations. This gives McLaren a level of continuity that will be invaluable as teams adjust to the massive rule changes ahead. However, continuity does not always mean harmony. If McLaren continues its upward trajectory and both Norris and Piastri find themselves in title contention in 2025, it could create friction between the two drivers. While McLaren has managed to maintain a solid team environment so far, intense battles for a championship have historically tested even the best of partnerships. For Norris, the challenge is to prove he has what it takes to go all the way after falling short in 2024. Meanwhile, Piastri still needs to make a noticeable step forward in qualifying to establish himself as a genuine championship contender. If McLaren finds itself in a strong position heading into 2026, keeping both drivers satisfied could be just as difficult as developing a competitive car under the new regulations. Much of the 2025 season will be spent analyzing Lewis Hamilton's first year in red, alongside Charles Leclerc. The seven-time world champion's move to Ferrari was one of the most stunning developments in recent years, and the dynamic between him and Leclerc will be closely scrutinized. Even if Hamilton is comprehensively outperformed by Leclerc, it seems unlikely that he would walk away before 2026. The introduction of fresh regulations provides yet another opportunity for Hamilton to chase an elusive eighth world title, and Ferrari will want to capitalize on his experience in the sport's biggest transitional period. As it stands, Ferrari's lineup is one of the most secure on the grid, barring any shocking developments. The biggest unknown of 2026 revolves around Max Verstappen. His contract with Red Bull technically runs until 2028, but whispers of an early departure have been swirling ever since the team's internal power struggles at the start of 2024. The departure of key personnel, combined with Red Bull's declining on-track performance last season, has only fueled speculation that Verstappen could seek a fresh challenge elsewhere. One of the biggest factors in his decision will be Red Bull's 2026 engine program. With the team developing its own power unit for the first time, Verstappen will need to be convinced that it can deliver the reliability and performance required to continue his dominance. If he loses faith in Red Bull's ability to remain at the top, two key teams will be waiting in the wings: Mercedes and Aston Martin. At Mercedes, team principal Toto Wolff has made no secret of his desire to sign Verstappen. But if he does make the move, who would make way? George Russell has firmly established himself as Mercedes' new team leader following Hamilton's departure, while highly rated rookie Kimi Antonelli is seen as the most exciting young prospect since Verstappen himself. If Verstappen were to leave Red Bull, Aston Martin could also be an attractive destination. The team has already secured two-time world champion Fernando Alonso and Lance Stroll for 2026, but a driver of Verstappen's caliber would undoubtedly force a reshuffle. Some believe that Aston Martin could be Verstappen's best long-term bet, given their growing investment and the arrival of Honda power units in 2026. At this stage, predictions are mixed. Some experts are convinced Verstappen will depart before 2026, while others believe he will remain with Red Bull for at least one more season. Either way, his decision will send shockwaves through the entire grid. Even if Verstappen stays, the question of who partners him in 2026 remains unanswered. Liam Lawson has the advantage of incumbency, assuming he does a solid job in 2025. With limited other candidates, he seems like the most logical choice to retain the second Red Bull seat. However, Red Bull is known for its ruthlessness in driver decisions, and if a more compelling option emerges, they wouldn't hesitate to make a change. One of the more volatile teams heading into 2026 is Alpine. The French outfit has struggled for stability in both performance and driver management, raising the question of whether their current lineup will even last until the end of 2025, let alone continue into 2026. Alpine made a bold move by signing Franco Colapinto to a multi-year contract, and it would be surprising if they didn't give him an F1 seat sooner rather than later. A logical prediction for 2026 would be Colapinto partnering Pierre Gasly, with Jack Doohan missing out. Haas enters 2026 with a completely new approach, featuring Esteban Ocon and rookie Ollie Bearman. Ocon, a race winner, is eager to rebuild his reputation after a challenging stint at Alpine, while Bearman has already impressed during his 2024 cameo appearances. Haas may have to manage a potentially combustible pairing, but the talent within the team makes this lineup worth maintaining. Meanwhile, Red Bull's junior team is likely to undergo another transformation. Yuki Tsunoda's tenure appears to be nearing its end, especially with Honda shifting its focus to Aston Martin. If Isaac Hadjar delivers in his rookie year, he could secure his second season, potentially alongside Arvid Lindblad, one of the most exciting Red Bull juniors in recent memory. Williams looks set for stability, with Alex Albon and Carlos Sainz locked in through 2026. Unless a top team swoops in to buy out one of their contracts, it's difficult to see any changes here. Sauber, which will officially become Audi in 2026, is also expected to maintain its lineup. Nico Hülkenberg has proven to be a reliable midfield performer, while Formula 2 champion Gabriel Bortolito will have the opportunity to establish himself in F1. Cadillac remains the biggest wild card on the grid. The team, formerly known as Andretti, has been tight-lipped about its driver preferences. However, given its American ownership, it's logical to assume they'll want a homegrown talent in the lineup. IndyCar race winner Colton Herta is the most likely choice, while an experienced driver such as Valtteri Bottas or Sergio Perez could join him. As the F1 world shifts its attention to 2026, uncertainty reigns over some of the sport's biggest names. While teams like McLaren, Ferrari, and Williams have their driver lineup set in stone, the looming decisions of Max Verstappen, Red Bull's second seat, and Mercedes' approach to its future could reshape the entire grid. With brand new regulations, shifting team dynamics, and potential surprise moves, the driver market for 2026 is far from settled. If 2024's silly season was anything to go by, we're in for another roller coaster ride before the dust finally settles on the grid of F1's next era. Hello, McLaren faithfuls. Stand a chance of winning $1,000 by hitting that like button, drop a comment below, and subscribe so you never miss any McLaren and F1 updates with relaxing ASMR elements. Your support is what keeps this incredible community growing stronger every day. It costs you nothing to like and subscribe, but it helps the channel tremendously. Let's continue the conversation and share our passion for McLaren and F1 together. As a YouTube member, you can also discover my journey as a passionate creator navigating life with challenging disabilities. Despite the obstacles, I'm determined to follow my dreams and share my love for McLaren and F1 with the world. By becoming a YouTube member, you'll not only be supporting my dream, but you'll also gain access to exclusive content, including untold stories of legendary F1 drivers and much more. Your support can truly make a difference in my life, helping me continue to do what I love. Join McLaren Faithful's membership below and enjoy.